Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be giving you a net worth update. This is my network tracker. This is the dashboard that gives you an overview of my asset, liabilities, and overall net worth. If you are new to my channel, thank you. Welcome. In this channel, I share my journey towards building financial wealth. I am also focusing at the moment on paying down $195,000 in non-mortgage debt. Yes, you heard that right. $195,000 in non-mortgage debt. This right here is going to be an overview of all of my assets, liabilities, and progress that I've made from January through March. So Q1 net worth update. So let's take a look at where I stand at the moment. I am going to start from the bottom with my liabilities and then talk about my assets, and then we'll see overall where my net worth is from where we started in January to today, end of March. So starting with my unsecured liabilities, I do have credit card debt. I started the year with $50,000, 300. Let me make my screen bigger so you can see. We'll start with my liabilities. Looking at my unsecured liabilities, I have credit card debts. I started the year in January with $50,000, $50,330 in credit card debt. And in February, we reduced it by $37,305. And in March, right now, we are at $34,953. Let me unhide these columns so we can get an overview. I like to see differences in dollars and percentages. That gives me a better perspective of where I stand. So for my credit card debts, I have reduced the balance from the start by 30%. So from $50,000 to $34,953. That's a reduction of 30.55% reduction from when we started the year to the end of Q1. So cue the confetti, cue the confetti. I've been really doing well. Student loans, I do have 2 student loans. One that's $66,920. Another one that's $22,432. However, I am not touching this debt. It's currently on forbearance, and I am focusing on paying down credit cards. So nothing towards student loan debt at the moment. Next, we have my tax liabilities. So I started the year with $18,780 in liability. Yes, you heard that right, 2. And there is a story, and I will probably tell it, the whole story here soon. But yes, last year I did owe the taxman, and I'm slowly paying them. Hopefully by the end of the year I can get rid of this. But from the beginning of the year, when I started paying for it, to now, I owe $17,343. That's a reduction of about 7%, 7.65%. So the total for my unsecured liabilities today, March, end of March, is $141,648. And in January, we started with $158,462,000. That's a reduction of 10.61% of my overall unsecured liabilities. So $141,000, yes, that's still a heck of a lot of money, but at least we're making progress. Now let's look at my secured liabilities. This includes my one car that I just bought at the end of last year and my 3 homes. So currently my auto loan is at $36,859. I do have to be honest, this part of my liability, I have not been very diligent in tracking it, because I'm paying the very minimum. So the reduction is very low. So this is really just carrying over. Unfortunately, unless you're paying extra into your properties or your car, you're going to see a very limited decrease in your liabilities. But something else that I'm also thinking about, strategies on how I can start reducing some of this debt a little faster. For my auto loan, I am at $36,857. I technically started around $40,000, but in January I was at $37,859. That is a reduction of about 2.64% from where we started. My properties, I'm just going to tell you guys where I am currently. In the subsequent month, I'm going to be a little bit more diligent at tracking down what the actual amount of the reduction of debt is. This is very new to how I am tracking down my finances. So next month, be on the lookout for my April net worth update, because it's going to have more accurate information on these spreadsheets. So I have property 1 where I owe around $163,300. Property 2, I owe about $193,556. Property 3, I owe $647,936. Y'all, I can't say these numbers. These numbers are too damn big for me to be saying, like, stumbling all over my words here. Anyhow, so that is how much I owe on each one of these 3 properties. My total secured liabilities at this point, end of quarter 1, is around $1,041,651. Yes. So my total liabilities end of Q1 is $1,183,299. We started the year with liabilities of around $1,201,113. That is a reduction in total liabilities of 1.48%. or $17,814. And most of that is coming from me paying down credit card debt. And if you look at the difference between last month, it looks like the reduction in my liability was about $4,789, which makes sense because it aligns with credit card. The majority of it coming from my credit card debt, a little bit of it coming from my tax liability, and a little bit from my auto loan. These are big numbers, but at least we are making some progress towards reducing this enormous amount of debt. Now let's look at my assets. In assets, cash assets on the checking and savings account, this fluctuates so much, but I'm just going to go ahead and share it. But just keep in mind that this really fluctuates. I just make it a point that whatever day I am logging this into my spreadsheet, which is almost always the end of the month, whatever I have in my checking or savings account, I note that information here. Savings account, so when you see that I have 0 in savings account, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have 0 in my savings account. To make my life easier, I just write the total of what Mint tells me all of my accounts are. It keeps me from having to add up a whole bunch of different savings accounts. We'll see if I'm going to change that in the future, but right now, between my savings and checking account, at the end of Q1, I had about $10,000 $609. Yo, you saw that liability. This $10,000 mean nothing. Like, I can literally eat it up in one day. So it looks like a big number, but given all of the liabilities that I have, that is not enough. But as somebody who's focusing on paying down credit card debt, I really haven't been focusing on building a savings. So hopefully here in a few months, after I've eradicated most of my credit card debt, I can start building some sort of emergency savings situation, some sort of emergency savings. My personal loans, or my automobiles, I don't have a personal residence at this moment because I'm renting. My car was valued 3 months ago at $30,820. It is not updating it because I guess with Kaylee Blue Book you have to pay every month to get a new update. So I'm just gonna keep it at $30,820. My retirement, my overall retirement savings, where I stand on that, I have a traditional IRA, and I currently have $20,828. I have a 401k at $28,673. Last year I switched jobs, but it took me a while to actually transfer money from the old 401k to the new 401k. That's why you see here, starting in January, I only had $1,500 in the traditional IRA, but then I ended up with $20,828, and that's an increase of 1,200%, but it's not really realistic. It was a big chunk transfer into that account. This is not accurate. I'm gonna delete this. It's saying that I started the year at 37,000. I think that's not accurate. So we'll just look at where I currently am end of March. For my work 401k, I am at $28,637,000, and in February I was at $20,272,000. What's factored into this growth, that's a difference of $8,000. All of that is not my monthly contribution. A lot of it came from part of a bonus that I got through work, went into my 401k. I wanted to get all the money so I can use it to pay down credit card debt, but they already sent a portion of the money to my 401k. You know what? It is what it is. That is an increase from last month of 6%. And an overall increase of about 6.69%. So I'll take that. I do not have any other retirement. So at the end of the month of March, my retirement accounts between my traditional IRA and my 401k, I am at $49,501. It's showing here an increase of 141%, but of course that's due to the large transfer I made from my old 401k. Now let's look at my investment properties. The good thing about having huge liabilities is if you do it right, you can also have huge assets, right? So property one that we talked about earlier, that over here where I owe $163,000, is currently worth at about $309,700. So here's the thing, that amount does not reflect all of the renovations and the changes I made to the property. I am confident that the valuation of this property is on par with my valuation for property 2. So on this spreadsheet, I keep exactly what Zillow is telling me the properties are worth, but I know in the back of my head, because of the work that I've done to the property and just really understanding my real estate, my market, I can get a lot more for it. But nevertheless, property number one, $309,000. This is also another section, right? That I am not nitpicking these expenses. I am not overly concerned about the valuation of these properties, but I'll share it anyways. So we have $309,700. That's an increase of about 0.36%, and it fluctuates all the time. For property number 2, you can see in January I was at 322. Now at the end of Q1, it's telling me that I'm at $337,100. That's an increase of about 1%. This one is actually very interesting. So the first 2 properties are in Texas, the other one is in Colorado. And where you buy makes a big difference. In January, the property was valued at $715,200. Now it is valued at $710,500. So here's the thing. What is also not taken into account, I added a whole new bathroom into this unit, into this property. I converted it from a duplex to a triplex. So I actually believe that this property is valued at significantly more than what is showing up on Zillow, but we'll keep the numbers what they are here. I do have a mutual fund with Fidelity that is currently valued at $5,570. I have an HSA account that's valued at $5,936. The mutual fund has actually gone down by negative 1.32%, and the HSA account has gone up by about 4.35% from where it started. So the subtotal of all of my investments is at $1,368,806. It's this number, $1,368,806. There, we got it. I am struggling. And that's an increase in overall investment assets of about 5% from January to March. Now, I am going to kind of cue a scenario of what I actually think my properties are worth and see how that impacts my assets better. I think these 2 properties are valued at the same. And I believe that this one will easily go for $805,000. I really do believe that. So that will value my total assets at about $1.5 million. I really do believe that this is more where I stand, like in these properties, than whatever they are telling me it actually is. But to keep it consistent, we'll stick with whatever Zillow is saying. So more big numbers. The good thing is, despite, yes, I do have large liabilities, but I also do have assets that compensates for that liability. So now let's look at the total asset to liabilities, or my new worth. Why not new worth? Let me crack myself up. Why not? So let's now do the calculations of total assets versus liabilities. So for my total assets, I am at $1,459,736. That is an increase from last month of $10,000 or 0.73%, but an increase from the start of the year of $43,617 or 3% increase in my asset overall from the beginning of the year. Okay, not bad. Let's cue the confetti. That is not bad at all. And my liability, boo. Liabilities right now, I am at $1,183,299. That's an increase from last month of only about $4,789, but it's a decrease from the beginning of $17,814. or an overall decrease in my liabilities of 1.26%. So what does that look like in my net worth? Yes, so my net worth in March stands at $276,437, and that is an increase from last month of $15,495, or 5.61%, and an increase from the start of the year of $61,431, or 28.57%. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. We will take it. We will absolutely take this number. So I've lost some, I've gained some, but this progress is absolutely encouraging. I couldn't be more excited about this progress. I'm just over the moon right now, $276,437, despite some of my properties going down in value. Oh, let me do my Nandy's evaluation of my assets, assuming that this is 3.7 100, and this is what I actually think it is, 805,000. I actually think that I could get 850,000, but will not be overly greedy. So if my properties were valued at what I think they could be valued at, based on the repairs that I've done that are not reflected on Zillow, I could easily be at a net worth today of $300,098.337. I messed that up, right? $398,337. These numbers are too big. And that would be an increase of 85% from the beginning of the year. So, but technically wouldn't really be an increase of 85%, because the large valuation will translate into the other. But anyhow, still, that's just a doggone big number. But we will not do that. We will keep it exactly where it's at. We'll take the $276,000 as a net worth. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. As you can see, it has been an interesting journey building this net worth, especially when you look at where I came from. Right? This is exciting. This is encouraging. It's motivating. Please come back and join me as I share more videos on my journey. April's numbers are going to be even bigger, because I am focusing on cutting back on my credit card debt. My focus has been on reducing this credit card debt. So please come back so that we can see where we stand on these numbers in April of 2023. Also, every week I do a breakdown of everything that I'm spending to keep myself accountable. Until I see you again, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.